Hello, welcome to the video. My name is S, and I have been playing a lot of the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. When the remaster dropped the other month, I went into it with a high level of skepticism. I am a huge fan of Bethesda titles, arguably to a fault because I am one of 5 people who actually enjoyed Starfield, but with my first Elder Scrolls game being Skyrim, was I going to enjoy Oblivion, or would I find it a difficult experience due to its newer younger sibling? Whilst all of the Elder Scroll games have been celebrated, Skyrim is the game that has stuck in the hearts and minds of gamers. Hell, it is one of the most modded games of all time. Skyrim being my first Elder Scrolls experience feels like the bar got set really, really high. However, I'm currently 60 or so hours into my playthrough on Oblivion, with the main quest completed and a number of the faction quests done, and I can safely say, I fully and completely understand why this game gets absolutely glazed online. The Elder Scrolls Oblivion is good. Like, really, really good. Whilst the fresh coat of paint from the remaster is giving it a helping hand, the gameplay and the story itself just really sings. I'm not a reviewer, nor a gaming journalist. In fact, as per the name of my channel, I'm not really even any good at games. I just like them and I like talking about them. So this video is just going to be a bit of an exploration of my experiences with the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and I'll have a few comparisons to Skyrim for those who are like myself. So let's get into it. For me, something like the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remaster is such a great way to make an old game accessible. I am an RPG fan, but one of my perhaps controversial opinions is that I struggle with older titles due to aging visuals or a few missing modern standards. For example, the ability to sprint, which the Oblivion Remaster did actually add to the game. Some games are timeless, but some games don't age as well even if they are still good, and I think that should be okay to say. Although I was always curious about Oblivion, I can't lie, without the rose-coloured glasses of nostalgia, I was always a little bit concerned that I wouldn't get it. The Oblivion Remaster has given me a chance to play this game in a way that feels modern, whilst not losing its 2006 charm. For people who have played the original, I can't speak on how they feel about the remaster, but for me, this feels like the perfect way to remaster a game, and I can only hope that more devs follow in Bethesda and Virtuosa's footsteps here. But let's talk a little bit more, and start off with the surface level, which is arguably the biggest part of what the remaster has done. To say this remaster looks visually gorgeous would be an understatement. It's still got a little bit of jank with the character models, since I think you can only polish things like that so much, but everything else, the environments, the creatures, the frickin' Oblivion gates, it all looks incredible. I would argue it's not the most realistic, insane 2025 level next-gen graphics, but it's stylized and it's got warmth, and I could spend absolutely hours staring at this game. The way they did the graphics in this remaster is quite similar to other remasters for games that run on an older engine, where they basically are using sort of 2 engines stacked on top of each other. Creation Engine, which is Bethesda's bespoke in-house engine, is running the game, whilst the graphics are being powered by Unreal Engine 5. And you can really see that, I think especially with the things like the lighting and the magic effects. Part of me does wish there was an option to switch from the new graphics to the old ones, just to experience it, but it's a feature that I can live without. I will say, at the moment there is a visual glitch where things like magic effects seem to sort of stick to your character, and they won't disappear unless the game is reloaded. It's not the end of the world, but at times it can be quite distracting. However, I think as of writing this video, there is a patch on its way that fixes that glitch, so it's a bit of a moot point anyway. Now, looking beautiful does not a good game make. The updated graphics for Oblivion certainly make the jump into this game feel a lot easier, but it's the gameplay that makes this remaster what it is. And from what I understand, Bethesda and Virtuos have kept the Oblivion remaster pretty true to its 2006 original. You've got your typical Bethesda fare here, quests, quests, and more quests across a huge map, and near-on infinite choice about how you approach many of the things that you do. You can be stealthy, you can go in sword swinging, you can be good or bad or whatever and deal with the repercussions of those actions. It feels a bit more open than Skyrim, and I really like that. You can kill certain NPCs and be locked out of quests you didn't even know about. The main quest doesn't have you making any choices like Skyrim does, and I think Oblivion does lose a bit of the RPG factor in that regard, but I also believe that the actual story in Oblivion is better anyway. Working to close the Oblivion gates and save Cyrodiil is such a fun main quest, and I like it so much more than Skyrim's. I also like Oblivion's approach to items, weapons, and magic. The magic system seems to have a bit more depth than Skyrim, and though I'm not much of a magic user, I have found myself actually needing my heal spells once or twice, whereas in Skyrim I've often been able to sort of straight up ignore that side of things. I quite like that I'm made to engage with more of the game systems here, and that's consistent with other things, such as your items and weapons having durability. Typically I find durability mechanics to be quite annoying, but I actually quite like it here. It encourages me to engage with the smithing skills, and if not, I actually have to go out and look for better equipment, rather than just sticking with the same gear once I find my favourite. Another thing that I like more is just the skills in general. Skyrim's system works more on a skill tree system, where you pick and choose your skills, whereas in Oblivion you just get skills as you use them. It depends on what kind of gamer you are that'll dictate what you prefer, but I like Oblivion's more, even if Skyrim does offer a little more customizing with your specific build. Oblivion does also have skills that I wish still existed in Skyrim, for example the acrobatics. The fact that you can learn to be a better jumper and essentially start to parkour around the map is a really fun way to build up your character, and it's kinda sad that it doesn't exist in Skyrim. So yeah, as an experience, I've been having a really good time with Oblivion. My thoughts above are just a very brief summary, but honestly I could probably talk about this game for a very long time. And whilst I'm nearing the end of the video, I would just like to give a shout out to the soundtrack specifically, because oh my goodness, it is spectacular. Truly, within Oblivion, there is just so much to discover, so many things to seek out and have a really good time with. With 60 hours of playtime, I've barely scratched the surface, and I haven't even ventured into any of the DLCs yet. Seeing as I have played this on Game Pass, it feels like another incredible addition to the already absolutely stacked Game Pass editions that we've had over the last few months. Now, as I said, I didn't write this video as a review. I really did just want to talk about Oblivion as a game that I've enjoyed lately, and if you're someone like me who has been curious about Oblivion but never gotten around to playing it for one reason or another, I genuinely would recommend it. So, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, I'd greatly appreciate a like, a comment, and a subscribe. But either way, thanks again, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one for some more gaming content.